One of the main topics at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast this year and almost every year is religious freedom.
We heard earlier from the daughter of Catholic media mogul Jimmy Lai. Of course, he's in prison in Hong Kong for allegedly violating a Beijing-backed national security law.
There also are issues of religious freedom right here in the United States. And with more on that, we bring in Andrea Picciotti-Bayer, director of the Conscience Project and a frequent contributor to EWTN and EWTN News. Andrea, good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for inviting me, guys. It's great to be here.
It's great to speak with you, and there's always so much we can talk to you about. There's a lot of issues you're always monitoring when it comes to religious freedom. I want to highlight one in particular. You recently wrote a piece for the Washington Examiner on instances where people try and the ability to have an abortion with religious freedom. What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, this is really a pushback or an attempt to undermine the Supreme Court's wonderful overruling of Roe versus Wade by using our great tradition of religious freedom to kind of get in the back door and to say that there's a religious freedom right to an abortion. There are three problems with it. First off, abortion is not a religious exercise, and the only people that are claiming that are the folks at the Satanic Temple. Right. The second point is that religious freedom principles really are not a carte blanche. There isn't, any kind of, you can just claim a religious right and no one is going to question. And we can see that in the context that religious freedom wouldn't support, for example, Mayan child sacrifice, and that's probably the best analogy that we have. The third is the people that are making these claims just frankly aren't sincere about their religious claims. They're pro-abortionists, and hopefully the courts, when hearing these cases, will see it for what it is and strike these attempts to get in through the back door down.
We are very fortunate to have you as a legal analyst for EWTN News, and one of the things, you're a regular contributor to the National Catholic Register. You recently had a piece on parental rights and how states are really intervening and treading all over those rights.
No, absolutely, Matthew. You know, as a mother of 10, I take parental rights seriously, but fortunately so does the U.S. Supreme Court. And just a few weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court said that California's policy of keeping parents in the dark when it came to attempts to transition for their minor children in public schools was very questionable, not only raising issues of religious freedom, but also parental rights under the due process guarantee. And so this is really hats off to the feisty parents that have brought these suits to our courts and to the states that are starting to realize that you can't tread on a parent's intimate relationship with their children, and gender ideologues should be aware.
Speaking of parents, I have to ask you about this. You mentioned you're a mother of 10, and it seems in the media there's been this trend lately of, I don't know if it's fear-mongering about parenthood and motherhood, but women saying they regret being a mother. You wrote a piece responding to that, but what is your message to our culture right now that seems to be downplaying the importance and beauty of motherhood?
Yeah, you know, even this morning I have one of my college girls with me at the breakfast. I mean, you know, bringing your children along to life is one of the greatest ways to live life fully, to live life fully alive. And I would just say, you know, my life has been enhanced, and professionally it's not been a detriment. It's actually made me a better lawyer. But of all the things that I would count on, the things that I most value, it's my children and the wonderful life that they've given me being their mom.
Yeah, we were talking about parental rights and the importance of safeguarding your children. Now, we have the national debate, it's an international debate. We're seeing this movement against transitional surgeries, the mutilation of minors. You've written about that, I know, extensively, including for the National Catholic Register.
Yes, no, and this is something that I think that the tide is turning, blessed be God, because we're starting to see that the common sense understanding of we're made by God, male and female, and these efforts to undermine our true human identity are really being shot down, and it's because parents are speaking up to protect their children.
And the truth will prevail on this issue. Thank you for spotlighting the truth. Andrea, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
Thank you, you guys
Great
too.
To be with you.